Yeah. Turn me up, turn me up, turn me up. From the booth to the block, from the laughs to the drops. You already know what time it is. Yeah. We gon' be on the tracks, yeah, we speaking that truth. Real talk, real vibes every time in the booth. Big Dooley got the jokes, Big Mike got the sound. If you looking for the culture, yeah, you know where it's found. Be on the tracks, we don't stay on the surface. Every convo got fire, every moment got purpose. Turn it up in your ride, turn it up where you at. We taking over airwaves, yeah, we be on the tracks.
What's going on? It's your man DJ Big Mike.
What up, though? Big Dooley Jokes is in the building.
And this is Beyond the Tracks Podcast, your podcaster's favorite podcast. What it do? Man, today we got, he's a good friend of mine. He's probably going to be out of control, but most of my friends are.
It's typical
And that's okay.
of a Mike guest.
Please make some noise for Captain John Ruark. He is in the building.
Make some noise for Captain John in the building. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
JJ the Jet
We'll see
Plane,
if
as
you
we
still
like to
say
call
that
him
at the end.
sometimes. So what's going on, JJ?
JJ.
Let's just jump
the
right
jet
into it.
plane.
We going right into that bullshit with Spirit. Let's get into it.
Damn, like that? Oh,
Yeah,
for
we
real?
jumping right into this shit.
All right, well, let's give it a little background. Let's let everybody know who JJ is and why this man is here
Listen,
before we jump right in.
We can. Go ahead, JJ. Tell the people who you are and why you're here, sir.
Well, I'm here because I've been asked to be here by these wonderful gentlemen. But
Just one gentleman. Gentleman. You don't know what he is.
yeah, I'm a 26-year airline captain at Spirit Airlines. Former.
Former. Got to get used to that former part, huh? That's
Spirit
still pretty
is now
fresh.
out of business.
Damn.
But then I flew freight for a few years before that for a company called Royal Air out of Pontiac.
So, moving on.
Yeah.
Damn, 26 years, though. That's a long-ass time.
Yeah.
That's a long-ass time. So
It goes by though. I mean, you just before you know it, people ask you, "How long have you been at Spirit?" 26 years, and they go, "Damn." And I go, "Yeah, I guess it has been a long time." But you just don't think about it.
I got to ask you this because I guess in the community and the culture, Spirit is we'll say the poor man's airline, right? The budget airline.
The budget
right?
airline.
The budget airline.
They were.
So did that come with crazy? Did that come?
Oh,
with
absolutely. Absolutely. You never knew what you were getting into. I could tell you so many stories about passengers and experiences and, showing up to the gate and having some passenger be upset with a gate agent and take a swing at them. It's like,
Wow.
They're just doing their job. I mean, it's
Right.
not their fault what's going on. And
Right.
people tend to take everything out on who's in front of them.
Right. The
And
person
not
right in
realize
front of
it's
you.
not the people who are standing there trying to help you out. It's it's a
I
bigger
wonder
problem.
how that would work out. Being, I guess we would call that the Section 8 of airlines. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
that's what they say, but
that's what they say.
That's what the hell they fly.
I'm not gonna knock it. I was a Spirit flyer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I travel pretty light. You know what I'm saying? For most of my stays are normally just a weekend. I'm coming right back anyway, so I can get all my shit and to carry on, and keep it moving. Like I just need to make it there and back in one piece. So Spirit did the job for me.
Well, Spirit was the number one airline for safety. Spirit in their whole career of the company never had a crash, and there's not another airline out there that can say that.
Never. Like we talked about that earlier in the week, and I was just like, never? They
Never had a crash. See, the Spirits was with them the whole damn time.
Boom.
All them jokes y'all made.
Right. That kind of leads me into a question when you were talking about passengers and what have you. So one of the questions I have for you, JJ, is have you ever had a passenger do or say something that you just think to yourself, there's no way in hell this could be real?
Yeah.
And if you have, break that story down for me.
Well, how many stories do you want? I've got a bunch of them. I'll give you a for instance. I was a Tampa to Detroit. It was like a Friday night, right? And the last flight out of Tampa on Spirit that night. And we're in the cockpit getting ready to go. And my first officer, he's new. He's just out of training. His dad works at United and a senior captain at United, and he was basically just flying with Spirit till he could get on with United. So we're getting ready to go. We're waiting for all the passengers. The plane's boarded. They're like, we got one more guy. You can hear him coming down the jet bridge, being loud, obnoxious. Stops in the door of the cockpit, sticks his head in and goes, hey, you guys ain't been drinking, have you? You had a bunch of beers? You've been partying?
That guy.
And that I snapped because it's just not even funny anymore.
That's right. No,
because
it's not.
technically what you're supposed to do is remove yourself from the flight deck and go get a drug and alcohol test, which would delay the flight for 3 hours.
Okay.
So I spun around and I told him, I said, sir, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. I need you to take your seat immediately. And the flight attendants both were like, yep, sir, please go take your seat. He's not kidding. So the guy turns around and starts walking down the aisle. And as loud as he can be, says, that guy's an a-hole. What a D-I-C-K.
Okay.
And so I was out of my seat. And I told him, I said, excuse me, sir, come back here and stand right here. And so I went up the jet bridge to get the gate agent who was coming down the jet bridge. And I said,
Gotcha.
I'm removing a passenger from the airplane. She goes, what happened? I said, he called me a D and an a-hole and asked us if we'd been drinking. And she just picked up her radio and said, removing one passenger from the airplane.
What?
And he was
Listen,
gone.
that's like,
Wow.
listen, that does blow my mind because I know people do that. silly
Cocaine
shit
is a
all
hell
the
of a
time.
drug.
Right. But to me, it's like it's kind of. I always think in my head, like, to relate it to nursing, why would you talk shit to the person that's getting ready to fly a big ass, potentially iron coffin? That dude didn't know. Like, JJ could have been on his last end and was thinking about committing suicide. Now he taking your ass with him. You know what I mean?
30
Something.
odd some thousand miles in the air, you might want to trust that guy. Like, I ain't got shit to say to you, right?
Nice.
We ain't joking, we ain't kidding, right?
And that's like one of those. That's just an old joke that gets just played out way too much. So I can definitely understand like that would be some irritating shit. Or it's like it's like the patients who are nasty to the nurses and to the CNAs. It's like you shouldn't be nasty to people when you can't wipe your own ass. Like that's
Definitely not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't fly. Or if you need to get somewhere, why are you gonna be mad? Why are you gonna piss off the pilot?
That's the wrong person to piss off.
Like he said, I pick up a phone.
You guys
and you
are
off
pretty
the flight.
secure though behind that door, but I guess behind. But you guys still know what's going on behind you for the most part, right? There's a camera. You know what's going on behind you. There's not a camera.
No,
okay.
we don't have a camera to see what's going on back there, but you can hear, and the
You
flight
can
attendants
hear.
would call us up, and that door is Kevlar. It's bulletproof. You can't get through that door. I mean, it's safe.
So another question. So while somebody was in the air trying to catch a different kind of Spirit, have you heard anybody trying to join the Mile High Club on the Spirit flight?
Yeah. It's like, you get a flight attendant ring you from the back. There's a couple back here in the bathroom, and you're like, okay, well, when they're done, just let them
finish?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What's he gonna do? Land the plane?
We're not going to declare an emergency for that.
I don't know. I don't know. Does that cause extra turbulence or something? Like
No, I
as
mean
long
you
as
could
it's not a
shake,
fat
you
lady,
could shake
it's
the
okay?
joystick and give them a little extra movement back there, but other than that,
Got you.
let them be.
So that
they're not hurting anybody.
Then the next question is,
This is the asshole pilot. See, this is the dickhead
have you
that
ever
the guy
joined
was
the Mile
talking
High
about.
Club?
He cool with y'all
Not-
fucking on the plane.
not on
you
one of
can
my
fuck with
airplanes.
Captain JJ. You can join the Mile High Club on his Spirit plane.
Listen, you could not call him an asshole.
You can't call him an asshole,
but you can get your oogie oogie.
But
on.
you can join the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. What is I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite airport to pull into?
Favorite airport would be, that's a tough one because every
It ain't Tampa. That's for damn
No,
sure.
it ain't Tampa. No. Every airport in every city has good things to do and see in a layover. Right?
Yeah.
I really liked San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Damn, nice.
That
Okay.
was nice. And I'll tell you what was interesting was Bogota, Colombia.
Okay.
Bogota and Medellin. Your money goes forever down there. It's like 3,000 pesos to
Oh,
$1.
that's what the fuck I'm talking about.
You go out for a 5-star dinner with the waiters in white coats with the towel hanging over their arm, and you get a steak and
You get your own garçon. They just bring you your own garçon.
the whole meal.
Damn.
And dessert and drinks, and it's about $15 United States.
It's about $15, and it come with a slave.
I tipped a guy.
I don't think he said slave.
No, there's no slaves.
Okay.
But I tipped a guy $20, and he told me I paid his rent for 3 months.
Damn.
That's how far your money goes down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm about to move.
But
You could live very well down there.
So
but
here's
it's also
the
not
trade-off,
like the
though,
safest
right?
country in the world.
they don't make shit though, right?
They don't. They like the average Colombian makes probably around $1,000 US a year.
A year?
A year.
Damn. So if I took like 50 grand, I'm King Mike down there, huh?
Right?
Absolutely.
But their economy is totally different. Like they are just.
I mean, I couldn't buy milk.
I feel like we need a reset here, right? Like shit has just gotten so expensive. Inflation has gotten so high. And we all know shit skyrockets up and trickles down, right? But at some point, like we just need a reset. We just need a hard reset. Like, can we go back to the prices in the 80s? Right? I know gas would never be 99 cents a gallon again. Damn sure not no time soon. But I just feel like we need a hard reset, right? Like the money that I make now, I probably could afford shit in the 80s here. But other places, you know, the dollar goes a lot further. But that's interesting. That's interesting. Wow.
That's wild. I like it.
That's wild, right?
So it's a
there.
nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there.
And there's certain areas like you wouldn't go after dark. Just like
Gotcha.
Just like
Yeah.
Detroit.
It's like
you know?
Detroit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, no
East
doubt.
side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few blocks from our house, yes. But but it's great country to see. There's a lot of really neat things to see, and your money goes a long ways if you want to go for a vacation down there. Puerto Rico, not as far, you know, because it's a U.S. territory.
Right.
But anywhere in Colombia or Lima, Peru, absolutely.
So on the flip side of that, what is the one place that you were like, ain't no way in hell y'all sending me back here?
Well, there's a few places like that I went to on a regular basis. And I did, like Fort Lauderdale was one that I hated going to. But just because the Fort Lauderdale airport is so crazy. It's just so many
I kind of like the Fort Lauderdale. It's a lot slower than Tampa. Shout out to my mom-in-law in Punta Gorda. So we fly out of Fort Lauderdale a lot.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Everybody has their preferences.
True that.
You know?
True that.
There's some airports that we flew into in California that had really short runways, like Burbank and Orange County. Those runways are super short, so you have to be right on your game. You have to land right on the end of the runway. There can't be a tailwind. You've got to be on profile and down and stopped. Otherwise, you're off the end of the runway. You know? So.
Damn.
Southwest can tell you about that. So.
Yes, they can. So it's been a lot of crazy shit going on at airports lately, especially with planes near colliding or actually colliding in air and on runway. Have you noticed the lack of air traffic controllers lately? Has it affected a flight that you've been on?
Yeah, no,
because you see it every day now, right? Near misses, right? People sending people down the wrong taxiways, and
that happens. I mean, you have to be aware of your surroundings, and we're trained for that. You know, like the incident that just happened in LaGuardia, where they cleared the plane had just landed, and the controller mistakenly cleared a crash fire rescue truck across the runway.
Yep.
So you know, we had spoken about that, and it's like if that was two airplanes that were crossing a runway, that wouldn't have happened because. As pilots with the airlines, you're trained. Even if you are cleared to cross a runway, the guy on the right looks down the runway and says, clear right, clear to cross. The guy on the left looks and says, clear left, clear to cross. Then you go.
You still checking your peripherals.
Even if they say you're clear, you don't just take it. You don't take it for granted and plow across the runway. So when they did that with the crash fire rescue trucks, they told them they were clear to cross. They didn't look. They just plowed right out onto the runway. And the guy in the right seat looked down the runway and said, you know, clear right, clear to cross. He would have been like, whoa, we're not clear. There's a plane right there.
Gotcha.
And that would not have
What
happened.
the hell is going on?
Wow. Yeah. Shouldn't they be trained, though, in that regard?
Well, you can bet
vehicle?
that it's going to be that way now.
So when that happens, I guess when there's a near miss, at any airline, is that reviewed?
It's always reviewed.
Pretty
It's always
much.
put into our yearly training and whatnot. It goes into safety briefings. It goes into emails, and they always take it, analyze it, and figure out what could be done here to prevent this from happening again.
Wow.
So everything is always looked at. Yeah.
So, government, you did not bail out Spirit, and you just shut down the safest airline in the planet.
Right.
So thank you. We appreciate you.
They had the one chance to take our tax dollars, and actually, I had the chance to see all the tax dollars that got taken out of my check, and trust me, there was a lot of them. And to see that they would come back and actually help me for once, because you never see where the money comes out of your check that goes to anything good. And here it is. I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, finally going to see something good. My tax dollars are going to help me. Yeah, it didn't happen. So
I thought the most gangster shit that happened, like y'all got fired like an NBA free agent. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you turned on the TV in the morning and was like, oh shit, I ain't got to go to work today. Like that is the most fucked up way to be fired, for everybody else to know you fired before you. To literally, and that's how you find out, was on the news. Like, how does that happen in 2026? Like, y'all couldn't have emailed me, y'all couldn't have sent me a text, right? Y'all have all these means of communications.
Well, they asked the company that, and the company basically, their answer in so many words was, well, we just wanted to have a smooth operation right up till the end.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that smooth?
And
My
not-
plane leaving 45 minutes. Don't come to Metro. What kind of... There ain't shit smooth about that.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
But I feel like it's the same thing of where, like, you have the misconception, I think sometimes, especially with big companies, a lot of employees, where it's like, oh, if I tell them, then they're going to start slacking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's that, oh, now people are going to be calling off, and it's going to create, a bunch of delays, and people, you know what I'm saying? So I can kind of get that, but before you announce that shit to the news networks, can you email the captains, the big dogs, the people that've been there for 27
How about the
years?
people that are out on the road in the middle of a trip?
Right.
That go to bed and wake up thinking they're going to fly the rest of their trip, and now it's like, now how do I get home?
Right. Right.
Luckily, all the other airlines stepped up.
That was
That
a
is-
real
I did
shitty
see that.
layover.
Stepped up. Yep.
That would have been a real shitty layover.
Yeah, I don't know how you getting home, but we'll figure it out sooner or later.
No, they all stepped up and said, we're going to take care of you guys. We're going to get you home.
Now, I heard mixed feelings about that. Now, I heard some of the flight prices, and they were saying they were offering discounts to Spirit customers, right, who had been displaced from a flight. But if you looked, right, on Priceline, like, it wasn't much discounting shit going on. Like, damn. And somebody still made money off of this shit.
Yeah, and they were very short windows of basically just trying to get people that were stranded right there and not for anybody future down the road. It's just people that are kind of in the middle of their trips and whatnot.
So, I mean, I don't know, JJ, maybe you can touch on it, maybe you can't, but people always, like, I've been talking to a lot of people because they know we're friends, they know that you're a pilot, and people always say, how can airlines lose money?
Well,
So break that down, because people think that, like, airlines are making $1 trillion a day.
regardless of what they make, they have an unbelievable amount of expenses. Just the expenses of the jet, owning the jet, maintaining the jet, insuring the jet. And, maintenance is huge. Fuel costs are huge.
Are fuel costs up or down right now? They're
Way
way
up.
Just like everything.
That's what put the nail in the
That's what
coffin.
tanked
Spirit
it.
was good. They were coming out of bankruptcy. They were planning on $2.20-ish a gallon fuel. And with the Iran conflict, it doubled. And that put an extra $300 million in expenses.
That wasn't in the budget.
So it takes a lot to keep those jets flying. They burn a lot of fuel.
And that's not even talking about labor yet.
You're not haven't even gotten into labor. The pilots, the flight attendants, the gate agents, the rampers, supervisors. You're talking about people in corporate. I mean, there's a whole spectrum of people that are collecting paychecks that.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's
I
very
seen that
expensive.
post. Yeah. People are like, well, if the executive just stopped taking their $50 million a year paycheck, they could. I'm Like,
I don't know if that was necessarily happening
gonna
at
do-
Spirit though. I
Well,
know
they
some of the
still
other
had
airlines.
they had executives that were still making millions for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And all the senior level management people would get performance bonuses.
yeah,
So
off
they're
of your
taking-
back.
Yeah, exactly. And they got their bonuses, even when I don't know if you guys knew, we had to take a pay cut before this ever happened.
I did not know that.
A few months back, they came to us and said, if you want the airline to
Survive.
then we're going to need you to take a pay cut. And we all said, okay, if that's what it takes. I mean, me personally, what it broke down for a lot of the senior pilots was about a $50,000 a year pay cut. And so we were okay. We're like, okay, we're all right though. We're still going to make it. We're still.
That's
gonna,
more than a pinch.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's a grab your ass.
and it's and that's the thing that sucks too. It's like you agree to that. The union works it all out, and you say yes, we're going to take a pay cut, and they go, yeah, it
In the
wasn't enough,
interest of
fuck
the
off.
company, right? Not in my pockets,
not-
but in the interest of helping the company survive.
the flight attendants too. The flight attendants took a big pay hit too, and they took a lot of their work rules. Where with us, they just took pay right off the top, and then they took half of what they put into our 401k.
Ouch.
And so, because we had, it was a good what they were putting in.
I was going to say,
we
we talked about your 401k, sir. You had an amazing match at Spirit.
Yeah, it was, and that's what was on par with the airlines, with all the other airlines. They got about a 16%. Direct. That's direct contribution. That's not even a match. That means the company just puts in that much.
That's pretty good. Is that
And
for
then-
pilots?
That was for pilots.
That's the
Only-
pilot
that's
plan,
only
huh?
The pilot group.
Shit, that's the pilot plan. God damn, 16%. Fuck your
Yeah.
6.
And then I would match that with, I would put in 20% and max mine out every year. So, I mean,
Alrighty then.
luckily for me, I actually
I
maxed
can
mine
put
out.
my drink down on that shit.
Yeah, his pilots' 401ks are a little different than us
No
than us
shit.
medical
Well, it's
folks, Dooley.
It's because we don't have a pension. 401k is all we have.
Shit, we don't have no pension either.
Right,
The
there ain't
hell?
gonna be one left. That's for damn sure.
No, pensions are a thing of the past.
I know. That's what people
is
say to me
true.
all the time. Oh, you've been a nurse for 34 years. You're about ready to retire. I was like, from what?
From what?
I don't
I
get
know
no
that's
pension.
right,
I don't
yeah.
get no.
And the worst part about a pension is if you could retire, you have your pension, and 5 years down the road they decide, well, we're going to wipe out that pension because we can't afford it. We're going to file bankruptcy, and then you no longer have your pension.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
good thing about a 401k versus
At least you do keep that.
that they can't touch what I have.
I would agree with that.
They can't touch it. And
I would agree with that. Even though mine is taking a brutal ass hit right now. Like I stopped looking.
your
looking.
401k's taking a hit. Mine's been killing it like the last.
Oh
few
my
days.
God! Over the last course of the year, I'm saying over the course of the
Oh,
last
yeah, it's
year,
definitely been up and down.
it's definitely
been up and
been a
down.
roller coaster.
I mean, I guess
But
it
the
all
last
depends on-
time I looked was probably about 3 months ago, right before Christmas time. And I was like, okay, this is depressing. I'm just.
Oh,
gonna
you want
go
to look
ahead.
at it now. The last week, it's skyrocketed.
All right.
I mean, it's just skyrocketed. The
Okay.
last probably couple of weeks. You might be surprised.
I say, and,
might be
JJ
surprised.
can hook you up because he definitely made some moves in my 401k, and it's definitely different. It's different than what
Definitely
I've
different.
had before. So yeah,
I just pay attention to the market and watch it and see
Yeah.
what's making money. And what's good help with that too is Chat GPT. They'll give you advice.
Right on.
we talked about that on Monday, and I took my ass straight home and got to chat, and Dana pays for it, so I was getting a good Chat GTP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she paid a little $25 a month.
It's worth it. It's
You
worth
got
it.
GPT Plus and that bitch.
Exactly.
We got the Pro Edition.
Oh, that's what's
exactly.
up.
That's what you need. I mean, and it'll break stuff down, analyze stuff for you. I mean, it'll do stuff that you never dreamed of.
Speaking of, has AI made its way into the cockpit? Yeah,
Not yet, really.
Not yet. So you weren't worried about
They
autopilot taking your
they had
job over.
AI before that. I was gonna say it's called autopilot. Yeah,
We've had autopilot
his
for
ass
many years.
his
Many
ass don't fly.
years,
He don't
though,
really
right.
he take off, and he land. He don't do shit after that. And during like the middle, nah.
You just decide at what point below 29,000 feet you want to turn the autopilot on, and then you turn it on, and the plane will fly itself there. And the particular plane that I flew, the Airbus, it would
Okay.
you would type it all into the computer, so that knew the descent profile, it would fly down, it would land. You'd have to, you have to lower the gear in the flaps and stuff, but it'll set the speeds for you and everything. And if you want, in bad weather, you push the auto land button, the plane would land itself.
Damn, straight up.
It would stop itself on the runway. Then you would just reach up, click the button, turn off the brakes, turn off the autopilot, and then taxi it off the runway. But you only did that when the weather was like so bad you couldn't see, 200 feet in front of you.
Gotcha. Okay.
So other than that, it's like
That's still
fly
wild,
it
though.
yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it has the capabilities. And not every airline has planes have that capability. But the newest, latest, greatest ones like the Airbuses do.
Yeah. So let's jump into that, JJ. What has been your scariest flight?
Scariest flight?
Like, have you ever
He's
taken
like,
off
I'm a boss.
and they didn't de-ice the plane? Is that really important? De-icing the damn.
You can't take off if you don't get the plane de-iced. It won't go very far with ice on the wings.
See?
So yeah,
Stop
you have
bitching
to-
while you sitting there for that extra 15 minutes. It's important.
Trust me, you want to get de-iced. You don't want any of that stuff on the wings when you take off. Make for a short flight if the wings are all clogged with ice.
Yeah. We don't want that.
But I haven't at the airlines, because the airlines are pretty good with maintenance and whatnot. Like there's always,
Right.
as soon as you pull up to the gate, there's a mechanic saying, "Is there anything wrong? Do you need anything?" And they would fix anything. Usually, I say, if it broke. but sometimes you get an airplane and be like, "I'm flying this, and it's got this and this broken. Like, what the hell? Why don't they fix this?"
Gotcha.
So,
right.
But back flying freight years ago, I was flying with a guy and he decided, I wasn't the captain, I was the first officer, and he was the captain. He decided he didn't want to fly around this ugly thunderstorm. He wanted to fly right through it because we didn't have enough gas to fly around it.
Okay.
So as we flew through it, when you see a dog and it's got a toy in its mouth?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I felt like inside.
Damn.
The airplane. You have no control. That's
Wait a minute. You felt like the toy?
I felt like the toy. Yeah, because you have no control, and no matter what you do, if you grab a hold of control, the plane's doing this. It's all over the place.
Yeah,
You have no
yeah.
control. It's being propelled forward, but you have no control over the airplane. So it scared. I mean, I actually thought we were going down because we were flying over Lake Erie. I thought we were going to end up in Lake Erie when we shot out the other side of it. And I told the guy, I was like, "Look, never do that again with me on the airplane. I'm not flying through a thunderstorm. I'll land and get more
So
gas
at
if we
that
have
point,
to, but
it wasn't even safe to fly above it, or was that not an option?
that was not an option for where we were flying. We couldn't get above it.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some thunderstorms you can't get above, and there's airplanes have a service ceiling to where they'll only fly so high. And
Right.
like most of the airliners are 39, some are 41. But you can get thunderstorms that go up to 55, and the planes that fly up to 55 are
Don't
like
really think about that.
they're like the business jets. They're really nice business jets. Those will go 55,000 feet. So
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a ceiling. I thought you could fly into space if you wanted to.
nope.
Speaking of space,
Right.
I got to ask.
Ooh.
I got to ask.
Hit him with it, Big Mike. Hit him.
Any alien experiences? Or some shit that you just look at and go, that's different.
Oh, I've got. How many do you want to hear? How much time do we have?
Man, let's start out with with one of your best.
Okay.
We listen, brother, we here for you, so we got hours.
No doubt.
All right. So, I'll tell you what. Recently, we've all been seeing these things, and it's well known amongst all the pilots. You see it when you're flying back from Florida, or it's mostly Florida to Michigan, because you see it's in that line. But you see these lights, and they're out there. They're out in the atmosphere. They're outside of our atmosphere, but they're close enough to see. And the lights they'll come down, they'll break off, then they'll shoot around each other, and we see this all the time. So
Like,
it's
like balloons,
No,
drones.
No. We're talking.
You're saying
we're talking
unexplainable
out at night.
lights. Far
And
out.
you see them like thousands of miles out there, and you see them, and then they go around, and all of a sudden the lights will go out, and you're like, okay. And then all of a sudden one will appear over here, one will appear over there. They shoot back to each other. They move around, and there are people saying, "Oh, it's SpaceX. It's this. It's that." It's like. That's nothing that we have that we know of, and it's nothing that.
So like
that.
the movement is just the movement's too fast?
It's too fast. It's not like a programmed movement. It's like they'll come down, and one will come over here, then it'll move over to the left, and then that someone will move over here, and then they'll move around, and all of a sudden the lights will go out. And then it happens again in a little while, and you're like, what is that?
I got to show you a picture that I took.
Have the sightings increased recently?
Yes, they have.
See, man, there's some shit going on that they not telling us.
Oh, they've already.
Yes,
the government
sir.
has already admitted that the aliens are real. I mean, and you've seen that one. It was not all that long ago, within the last couple of years, where they were tracking one that looked like a Tic Tac, shape of a Tic Tac, that dropped from 50,000 feet right down to the surface in like 3 seconds. They're like, there's no craft on Earth that has that capabilities. And then it went underwater, and they were chasing it, and it was underwater. They could see it under the surface. It was doing 200 miles an hour under the water. Well, again, there's nothing that we have or know of that can go that fast underwater because of the drag. This thing is just
see, that's some shit he done seen with his own eyes.
I tell you, I was flying back when I was flying freight. I was flying with our chief pilot at the time, and we were at 41,000 feet. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were flying to North Dakota, pitch dark, and we're just flying along talking, right? And again, we're at 41,000 feet. And so as we're talking, this light comes over our head, and we see it kind of go out in front of us.
Okay.
And we both looked at it, and we stopped talking, and we're like, well, that's too high to be an airplane. Right. It's too low to be a satellite. It could be something government. We're not sure, right? So we're watching it gets about 20 miles out in front of us. Then it starts zigzagging back and forth.
Hell no.
Back and forth.
Hell no.
Then it stops dead center, and it turns, and it goes straight up and out. And we watched it until we couldn't see it anymore. And this was, of course, like 27, 28 years ago, right? Okay. So back then it was a different protocol. If you say that you saw
different freak out policy.
Shit, right. Well, if you say you saw a UFO back then, it was, you're going to go for psychological tests.
Got you. Okay.
So he looks at me and he says, you saw that, right? And I'm like, oh, I saw it. And he says, should we report it? And I said, do you want to go for psychological tests? And he's like, no, I don't.
Not so much.
No, we're not.
Speaking of ET, this is a question I've always wanted to ask a pilot. If you had to travel to infinity and beyond, would you rather roll with ET or Alf?
ET, definitely.
ET
is real, bro. Yeah. That's a real.
I just feel like Alf could give me. I feel like Alf would be more fun than ET going to infinity.
He might be, but I think ET's a little more of a galaxy traveler. Alf came from just one spot. I think ET had been around.
Damn, see, he thought about this shit from a whole different angle. I didn't even expect that shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. All right, ET. I'll be down.
They reference a lot of ETs in Star Wars.
Yes, they do.
Like the actual character ET. Did y'all realize that? I fell into that.
You're in there
one day.
Yeah, you're one of those.
And I was like, nah. I'm a nerd. I'm nerdish.
Yeah.
Really, what Dana would tell you, I'm just on my fucking phone way too much.
Well, that happens.
And sometimes I get bored and I'll watch a video and it'll drag me to another one and another one and another one. So, yeah, JJ, let's get into, I know that me and you have talked about your love for flying, but tell the people what really got you into flying, where you went to school, how you got on that journey.
All right. Well, I was 8 years old, and my grandmother took me to Missouri. So back when we were little, my family I have a small family, just myself and my brother, and we have 2 cousins. Because my dad and my uncle were brothers, and that was it. And on my mom's side, my mom was an only child, so there's not a lot of cousins or whatever. So my grandmother would take the.
Then you have me and Dana.
Right.
Can't forget about it.
My grandmother would take each one of the grandkids 1 year. Each year she would rotate, take a different kid to Missouri, to the family in Missouri for the summer or whatever. And that was the big thing you got to do with grandma. So grandma took me, and we got on a plane out of Flint, and I was flying along looking out the window, and I'm just like,
Flint Bishop.
Yep. And I said, you know what, I'm going to be a pilot. And my grandmother looked at me and she said, what are you looking at out there? And I looked at her and I said, Grandma, I said, I'm going to be a pilot.
8 years old.
8 years old. And she says, oh, honey, she says, you can be anything you want to be. I said, I don't want to be a pilot, Grandma. I'm going to be a pilot.
Damn.
Ooh. And so then after I got back from that trip with that grandmother, my other grandmother lived in St. Louis, Missouri, which is just up the road. So I went visited her, and they same question. They said, we heard you want to be a pilot. And I looked right at them and I said, I don't want to be a pilot. I'm going to be a pilot.
At 8
years old. And so I told
Nice.
my grandparents' neighbor that lived across the street, it said the same thing. Well, years later, my grandparents moved up to Gladwin and we're living on a lake. And they said, "Hey, the neighbors that lived across the street, he wants to come. He's coming to visit.
Okay.
So stop over." So I, drove up and the guy told me, he said his last name was Aarons, and I don't know the book. I've got it written down somewhere, but he said, "I wrote a book and I put you in my book." And I was like,
"Oh, damn.
You put me in your book. Why did you put me in your book? I was clueless." And he said, "Because at 8 years old, you looked us dead in the eye and you said, 'I don't want to be a pilot. I'm going to be a pilot.' And then you grew up and became a pilot." He said, "So there aren't many people that I know
Not too many.
that knew what they wanted to do at 8 years old and then did it."
Nope.
So was it just the atmosphere, the
The feeling of being in the air, looking at the ground, watching it go by, just thinking, I never.
He was like, "I can do this shit."
Well,
Right?
that's the thing is you don't think about compensation or anything else. You just
not
think,
at that time.
this is what I want to do.
That's pure
for a job.
joy.
This would be fun.
That's pure
and,
love.
And that was it. It was like it's always has been. Every time I get in the airplane, it's like just like you feel like when you go get on a roller coaster. It's
Right.
like, ooh, you get that excitement. You're gonna go do that. I got to do that every
No,
time.
I feel like I might be on myself. When I
did.
okay.
But
That is amazing though. At 8 years old, I am 48 and still don't know what the hell I want to do with
There's
my
nothing
life.
wrong, but when you figure it
And,
out, all of a sudden it'll be fun.
That is
know,
dope.
and-
That is really dope.
And it's Tino Amaya was on the podcast, and we talked about when you do something you love,
Right.
it's not work. And he was like, "That's bullshit," because when you do something you love, you work at it 1,000 times more to do what you got to do. But I think being a pilot is different because it's like, yes, it's a lot of work. I've definitely been around JJ. He has to do flight checks and all this different stuff and testing constantly. And even though he's probably one of the smartest people I know, he knows this shit in and out, but he's stressed the fuck out every single time. Right. So that's the kind of the bad part, right, about being a pilot. But it's kind of like I always tell people, I wish I would have picked a different path at 54.
Damn.
There it is. But but I have to say, like, I can be in the shittiest mood.
I wasn't even gonna say it.
I can be in the shittiest mood, and I'll go in and I'll be in there in the morning and I'll just be feeling shitty or whatever, just pissed off or whatever. And I'll go in and I'll just talk to one of my patients, and then the whole day changes. So it's like, that's why I'm a nurse, and I love being a nurse. I wish I could make a couple more dollars, but
Don't we all?
But it's one of those things where you do what you love to do, and it is work, but sometimes it's fun work. You know what I'm saying?
It is, and you know what? That's one of those catch-22s. I think it's a little gray area in there. The statement is, if you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life, right? But you will work your ass off at doing what you love,
Right.
right? I think there's an extension, right? There's you're not working, but you working.
Yeah, there's certain things along the way that make it worth it. Like that flight attendants during boarding would ask us, like, "Hey, there's a little boy that wants to be a pilot, a little girl that wants to be a pilot. Can they come up and visit you?"
Yeah.
Absolutely. I bring them up. I get out of my seat. I let them sit in my seat. I put my headsets on them, flick the button, turn on all the lights, let their parents take a picture of them.
Right
And I right at the end there was giving out these little Spirit airplanes. Because Delta
sweet.
had the cards they're giving.
Yeah.
Well, Spirit got the cards at the end from Airbus. The
Okay.
planes we flew, and we were giving those out. But before that, I was giving when it's a little die cast, looks like a Matchbox car, little airplane, and I'd give those to kids, and stuff. So they really, they really like that, and that's kind of like when I was young and I got to see the flight deck and stuff. It's like that's kind of what really molds your decision. It's like, yeah, this is something I want to do the rest of my life. So if you can guide anybody in that direction and be like, yeah, come on up, sit in the seat, put on the headsets, push the buttons, love it.
Wow. Well, I feel like I need to hit you with a situation.
Do it.
Can I hit him with a here's the situation?
Here's the situation.
Here's the situation.
Boo-doo-boo-boo-boo-doo-doo.
You gotta fly in the daytime or in the nighttime. All the time. Which one would you pick?
Okay. Now, is there subsections of this question? Is it like
Nope.
anytime during the
You
day?
just gotta pick. Nope. You just
Daytime
gotta
or
pick.
nighttime? Because
It's either light outside or it's dark outside. All the time.
Well, I guess I would go. There's pros and cons to each. I would go with the daytime.
Okay.
But at nighttime, the weather tends to settle down and calm down. So you're not, and you can see farther at night, right? You can see a lot farther at night.
Really?
If it's clear. Oh, you're talking hundreds of miles.
I would think it would be just the opposite.
Damn, right? I would think you
because
would see
think
further in
about
the
it. If
daytime.
It's clear, and you're 300 miles from Chicago. You're heading to Chicago from Vegas, right? You see the lights on the horizon, and you're like, and you look down on your screen, and you're going, well, Chicago's 300 miles away, but I can see it. I can see the lights of it.
Oh, that's
Damn.
Yeah, I would definitely. I would think that would be
Well,
different,
plus
but-
you're at 39,000 feet, so there's a lot less light pollution around you. It's just dark, and that's one thing that was really nice about flying to like Puerto Rico or to South America, to Bogota, Medellin, or Lima. At night, when you're out over the ocean, there is no lights below you. It's
Right.
So you turn down all the lights in the cockpit, and you sit there and look out, and you see all those stars. It really gives you a perspective for how many stars and planets are out there, and you sit there and you look at that, and you realize there is no way that we're the only life out there. It's
No
not
way.
possible when you see all those thousands and thousands and millions of stars and planets that you don't see because you can't see it here. There's too much light pollution. You got to go someplace where there's
We're probably
no light.
looking at what,
Wow.
10%, 20%, maybe?
If that.
1%.
One.
What you're looking at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not. I mean,
I
it's
imagine you'd have
amazed
to
by that.
see some incredible freaking
shooting
sunrises
stars,
and sunsets.
sunsets. I took a lot of pictures. Fortunately, I did, and I've
While
done
you
it all.
flying?
Oh,
So you on your phone while you flying and shit. That's what you're saying.
autopilot's on.
The autopilot is on.
Or
but
the
of
first
course,
officer's flying.
I want to know who the fuck giving him
Or-
a ticket for flying
or
on
I
his
just-
phone in the cockpit. That's what I know.
I just do like Michael does. I just drive with my knee and take a phone.
That's what's up. Everybody drive with the knee. That's old school shit right there.
That's it.
Gotta drive with the knee.
I will say though, JJ has shared a lot of pictures with me that he's taken, and they are
From the
definitely-
cockpit?
Yeah, breathtaking.
This is amazing.
breathtaking. So yeah, you gotta hit me some more. I'm gonna have to put a couple.
I've got thousands. As a matter of fact, I could probably go through. I've got literally 19,000 pictures in my phone. I could go through, pick them out, blow them up, and start selling them and make a business out of it. I mean,
That's you good.
you want to do it? Let's do it.
What are we waiting on, sir? I know photographers. I know people that can do this. I know people.
Let's do it,
and you're fucking unemployed, so you ain't got
Right?
shit else to do.
I'm like semi-retired. I mean,
Semi-retired.
If
Listen.
the right job opportunity comes along, then yeah, I'll work some more. My plan was I was only going to work about 2 more years and be done,
Okay,
right?
so he was close.
Yeah, because
okay.
I turned 60 this fall.
Okay.
Say it.
And so
Say it.
Nope.
Oh,
Just
you
for
ain't gonna say it?
No.
Damn.
No, it's just for you, bro. It only works on you. Sorry.
But so yeah, I was going to be out. I was going to work about 2.5 more years and be done once I could collect Social Security. I mean,
Yeah.
my 401k has been good. I've done good with what I've invested in, and I'm going to show you later. So you
All right, right on,
'cause
right on.
When you take a look, you're going to be like, I think I need to look at my
All right,
401k.
pleasantly
I think
surprised.
You're going to be surprised.
So now that you got time, are you a movie guy? You got to be in the movies.
I've been catching up on some stuff that I forgot that I recorded.
Yeah.
And I went back into my the box on the TV.
Oh yeah, the DVR thing.
Yeah, that
Okay.
thing. And I'm like, because I don't know if you've seen the series or heard of it. It's called Big Sky.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
There's only I think 3 seasons.
Okay.
But it's worth it.
It's
because
interesting,
It starts
though.
out and it goes in one direction, then it branches off and it keeps you. It's just like Yellowstone. It's like
Okay.
it keeps.
Sky.
It's
Okay.
not the same storyline. It's totally different.
Totally different.
But it's in that sense, it
setting.
will grab you and it will keep you,
Okay.
and you'll keep wanting to watch it right to the end. And you're like, oh, this is over. I can't wait for the next
Yeah.
season to start. But it's only 3 seasons. It's well worth watching. Give it a try.
Right.
It's called
All right,
Big
pilot
Sky.
movies. I got to know. I got to
Gun.
know.
Top Gun, my favorite.
Top Gun
He said that quick.
or Iron Eagle?
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun was the original Top Gun was
The original. We're talking
now
first
Top Gun
one.
2 and 3. Yeah, no, not that great. Then Iron Eagle, sure, yeah, and then Soul Plane, of course.
Get the fuck out of here! Wait a minute! Get the fuck out of here!
You knew he had to bring out Soul Plane.
Did not just say Soul Plane.
Listen, there is no doubt when JJ retires officially and he buys his own plane, that boy is gonna
That's
be
what it
purple
was like flying
with some
with
rims
JJ
on it.
Spirit. Everybody was on the plane, blew out.
We'll bedazzle the wings
Right.
and the tail.
That's funny.
Oh shit. Well, speaking of movies, they're getting ready to do a life story on JJ.
Okay.
Who plays JJ?
Who plays me?
That's a dope question.
I don't know. It can't be somebody that's like very serious because I'm never serious.
Okay.
Okay.
Got to be handsome, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to meet some of the main actors to see.
I mean, I'm thinking like Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's done that already, but no,
Yeah, that's true.
Not him. You know,
That's
I mean,
Jack Black.
Jack.
I could see Jack
Maybe
Black.
I'm not quite as crazy as him, but I mean that would be interesting. Yeah, that could work.
Okay. All right.
But you know, who knows? Maybe somebody that plays a bunch of different roles, or maybe somebody
How
like
about
Hugh.
I mean,
Jackman.
Denzel played a great pilot.
Denzel, yeah, but he's already done it. You know?
Who plays Sully? You remember? I don't. Nobody remembers who the hell played Captain Sully.
Yeah, he wasn't that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
It's the act. Could you land the plane on the water if you had to?
absolutely. I actually have a float plane rating, so I can land on the water.
He's got a float plane rating.
Yeah, he don't fuck around. I'm
That's
telling
some
you, my brother
serious
don't
shit.
fuck
I don't
around.
know
Like
what that
he's
shit
been
is.
piloting his whole
So
life.
there's certain
But
planes
it
that have
sounds
floats
good.
on the bottom of them that can
Okay.
land on the water, right? But you have to have a special rating for that. Okay, so I got that rating. And then there's an outfit by my place up north that's what they do is they fly float planes from Houghton out to Isle Royal and they drop people off. So they're always looking for pilots. So I may go knock on the door there and see if they need pilots and go fly a float plane for a while if they would hire me. You know, I mean,
Dope.
it'd be fun because there's really, you know, people think that just getting an airplane is fun. You don't know what fun is until you get into an airplane and you take off the water and you get to fly down the shore. And it's.
I'm with it.
There's nothing better than float flying. Nothing better.
Nice.
And you know how I do because I am DJ Big Mike, and I got to bring some music.
That you are.
Got to bring some music.
Oh, wow.
So JJ,
Yeah.
this is my question for you. And hell, I don't know, maybe the cockpit does have it, but if you could plug your phone up and listen to a song as you take off, what is your takeoff song? And then after that, give me your landing song.
My takeoff song.
That's
I can
a
tell you right
dope-ass
off the rip
question.
what it is.
Oh, shit. Okay. You have one.
Yeah, Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Oh,
Okay, yes.
Okay,
I can see
I like
that. I can definitely see that.
I like that.
Yeah. Landing.
I thought you was gonna go with an Aerosmith joint for a minute, but I can
No.
definitely see that.
That's
Aerosmith
hard.
would be for landing.
Okay.
That
Okay.
would be for landing. Yeah.
Look, I got Thunderstruck in my head
Yeah.
now.
Dream On probably.
Okay.
For that.
Dream on. Yeah, right on.
But then during flight, there's a lot of different. Like to play some nice R&B while you're cruising through the clouds.
Okay.
I've got some. I posted a few things on.
Did you listen to music when you fly?
We do. Used to fly back in the day. You used to
Ain't
fly
no
with the
Bluetooth
guy.
on the plane, Mike. He can't plug his Bluetooth.
I'm just saying, like,
up
they
into-
always
he
tell us
can't
to
plug into the
turn that-
plane, dog. He can't just
They
plug his
always
phone
tell us.
up.
They always tell us
It
to
don't-
turn that shit off, and I know the pilots
they-
up there gigging like a motherfucker when I'm bored.
We can. I mean, we like. There's things I shouldn't say, but I used to fly with a guy who used to bring a boombox. He was a
that's
captain. I
what's
was
up.
a first officer. He'd bring his boombox and sit it there and turn it on, and and they'd hear it in the background when we're making
Right.
radio transmissions, and they'd be like, "We're hearing music. Are you guys hearing music?" And he'd turn it off, and he'd go, "No, we're not hearing anything." And then he'd turn it back on.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, but no, you can easily play anything on your phone, and yeah, we can listen to music because
Thunderstruck and Dream On. I like it. That is definitely JJ. I like it. You got any more questions, sir?
No, that's it. One more. Do you know when there's a bunch of motherfuckers in the back of the plane who ain't put their phone on airplane mode?
No. Well, only in the sense that the flight attendants are yelling at them. That's how we know. Because they're walking up and down the aisle going, "Put that away, turn that off."
Okay, but it's
No.
never like
And
interfered with
it
shit.
hasn't, but it's they do that because part of it is because if every single person in the plane had their phone on, they've never really tested it to know if that's would that cause a lot of interference. So it's better off, you know. And on the other part of that too is people are distracted. If there's an emergency and people are on their phones, you got to listen to the flight attendants because they're going to tell you what to do. I mean, you got to listen to the flight attendants. They're going to tell you whether to put your head down, whether to brace for impact, whatever their commands are. You've got to listen to them because they're the ones there to keep you alive. Because we're up in the front of the airplane, getting the airplane on the ground.
And you don't give a fuck. As long as you're safe, you are.
We're focused on what we're doing, which is getting the airplane on the ground safely, and making sure everybody, lives. And they're in the back in case of the worst case scenario to evacuate the airplane. They're going to make sure if you listen to them, you're going to get off the airplane.
Right on.
Okay. I love it.
Right on. Thank you very much.
And
that was dope.
Listen, before we get out of here,
dope answer.
JJ, I need you to give me your best initial pilot announcement, like what you like to say right before you get ready to take off to the passengers.
Well, there was a kind of a canned thing that a lot of people would say. Some people have their own little variation, but I would just say, welcome aboard Spirit Flight 777, nonstop service from Detroit to Las Vegas. Time en route today will be 3 hours and 57 minutes from wheels up to touchdown. In just a few moments, flight attendants are going to have a very important safety briefing for you. We'd appreciate it if you give them your full attention. We'll update you on the time and weather when we get airborne. But for now, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and we'll get you there as quickly and safely as we can. Welcome aboard.
That was way too smooth, though. I don't believe JJ is that
as the other
smooth,
side
though.
of the motherfucking
Do you know how many times I've said that?
Right? Smooth as a baby's ass.
I mean, I feel safe.
I feel safe as shit, right? I would fly with you.
Yeah.
I would definitely fly.
We're going to be flying with him a lot more, I think, once we throw him this big ass retirement party.
Right on.
And he buys his own plane.
You know what? When we get that BTT jet, I think we got our man.
We can't afford him, sir.
Probably not.
No, we
but
can't.
wishful thinking.
Listen, he don't fly drones. He flies real planes.
I thought since he was flying Spirit,
we might be able to get that a little bit.
We didn't make as much as the other pilots, but we still didn't do bad. As a senior captain there,
for sure.
I still did pretty good. So I can't complain. That was the biggest gut punch, was going from making over $300,000 a year to waking up the next day and making nothing. You go from that to zero.
Yeah,
you're done.
Woo.
Yeah.
So
listen, I almost want to say fuck Spirit, but Spirit's been good to you, brother. So I know that,
but
so
they were
I
always
won't say.
They were always the first ones to kick you in the nuts and not pat you on the back as a company. So, but in other aspects, they were good to us in some parts.
So I gotta rethink, like, who the fuck am I gonna fly now? I think I've flown Delta once, and every other time I've flown in my life has been Spirit. And
Really?
well, you know what's crazy, JJ? Of all the times I've flown Spirit, you've never been the.
But because people always say, "Oh yeah, I'm flying this flight on this date. Are you going to be my pilot?" It's not. It's not that easy. I mean, we had at one point we had 3,000 pilots, and then that kind of dwindled. But you get your schedule a month in advance, and and people book their flights, whenever they book them, and you don't know that you're going to be able to. I mean, I have actually flown people that I know, but it's by pure luck. Like I'm walking through the terminal and I see some people. They're like, "Hey, we're going to Orlando," and I'm like, "On what flight?" "Oh, the one here in an hour on flight, 411." I'm like, "That's me
too."
Boom.
And then hey, so I get to fly somebody I know. But other than that, I did luckily, and I'm very thankful that this happened. I got to fly my brother.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. I love that.
Yep.
Your brother's an ass, though.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I love your brother. You know that. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's got a good business going over there in Grand Rapids, 44th Street Dog and Dairy. Or if you're over there, go over there and hit him up, because you like ice cream or specialty hot dogs. That's your man.
I feel like he could be a sponsor, Dooley.
Sounds like a plan.
He could be a sponsor.
Right on.
We'll work it out.
We're working on it.
Yep.
And with that being said, I'm your man, DJ Big Mike.
Hey, yo, Big Dooley Jokes. It's been a pleasure.
JJ Ruark.
And we out. Peace.
Yeah, we gon' be on the tracks, we speaking that truth. Real talk, real vibes every time in the booth. Big Dooley got the jokes, Big Mike got the sound. If you looking for the culture, you know where it's found. be on the tracks, we don't stay on the surface. Every convo got fire, every moment got purpose. Turn it up in your ride, turn it up where you at. We taking over airwaves, yeah, we be on the tracks.